Good morning and welcome to Spartan Spotlight, where we bring you all things regarding AU athletics. I'm Christina Bonfiglio. Today we will be joined by 10-time Conference Coach of the Year, men's basketball coach James Lancaster. He's the winningest men's coach in school history with a ridiculous composite record of 384 wins and 182 losses. The men's basketball season is right around the corner with their first game coming November 18th. Today, Coach Lancaster joins us to talk about his success as an Aurora basketball coach in the thrilling season ahead. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us on, Christina.
Coach, you began coaching right after graduating from AU. When did you know that you wanted to further the program here at AU?
Probably right after the middle of my senior year. You know, I become very close with Coach Holler. He was like a second father to me at that time in my life, and he had an opening on his staff and asked me if I wanted to stick around and you know, stay with the basketball program. So I was his assistant coach for 4 years, and really decided at that time that's what I wanted to do for a career, and just worked out great to be able to do that at your alma mater.
Yeah, that's great. When you started coaching women's basketball here in 1990, and then after 4 years transitioned over to the men's basketball, was there any trouble transitioning from women's to men?
It was really hard leaving the women's program. You know, we'd taken over a program that was 2-22, I think, the year before we took over, and we had a couple very good recruiting classes, so you became very close with those players, and I think the last year we'd won 22 ball games and won a game in the NCAA tournament. And to have everybody coming back that year was going to be a truly special year. But the men's job came open at that time, and it was either, you know, make the transition then or not. So it was tough leaving that team. Dr. Jennifer Buckley was one of the juniors on that team, and she was part of my first recruiting class. So she still gives me a hard time about walking away during her senior year. So.
During your tenure as a men's head coach, you have a record of 384 wins and 182 losses, which is the most wins in AU men's basketball history and the highest winning percentage of any men's basketball coach at AU. You are a 10-time Conference Coach of the Year. Has your philosophy changed at all over the years of your success?
I don't know if the philosophy's changed. Probably coaching style has changed a little bit because kids have changed a little bit. So I think you have to adapt and to whatever strategy works for that group of young men. You know, our job is to try to get the most out of them, find different ways to motivate them. But as far as philosophy, you know, we set a very high standard. We try to do everything we do right, both on and off the court, in the classroom, and different things like that, and really not focus on winning. We truly believe winning is a byproduct of doing things right. And so making sure that we hold them accountable, the players hold themselves accountable, and you know, that they truly want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And that's something that we have to preach all along. You know, that basketball is a team game, and here at Aurora, you know, it's not about the individual, it's about the team. But we focus on effort, we focus on attitude, we focus on doing things right. And like I said, winning just really is something that happens along those ways.
Yeah, that's great. Last season, you finished 15-5 in conference and 20-8 overall, taking first place in conference. To what can you contribute to the success of the last season?
Last year we had a very experienced team. We had 7 seniors on the team, and so those guys have been in the program for a long time. We had a lot of 4-year players, and you know, Kyle Pilmer and Sean Gant, Gavin Walker, Joe Kwiatkowski. You know, those guys have been in the program for some time. And we had some transfers that were seniors as well. So it was nice to sit back and let them lead the program a little bit more, because they'd heard everything coming out of my mouth for the previous 3 years. But so I really think we were successful just because of the experience that we had on the team, and they had been to the NCAA tournament 2 years before that, so they had experienced that as well. And you know, even though we got first in the conference, we still came up short, losing the conference tournament championship game at our place. And free throw shooting is what hurt us, you know, over the course of last year, and hopefully we've rectified that just by graduating some of those guys.
It's very early in the season, but you have some big-time returning players coming back, including Coleman Stokes and Tyler Hall. How have these preparations gone so far?
Yeah, we've been practicing for just over 2 weeks now, I think, and you know, Kalman and Tyler have been in the program for a long time, along with Nick Cladis. Those 3 guys are our seniors. So we do have high expectations. You know, a lot of people look at what we lost with those 7 seniors, but I look at what we're returning as well. And so we do have a lot of experience out there. You know, Kalman and Tyler can both join the 1,000-point club this year, you know, with pretty solid years. So they know what we're about as a program. We're trying to ingrain, 4 or 5 other guys into our rotation, new guys. I think we have 3 transfers and 2 freshmen that are in the mix right there as well. So, relying on those guys' experience and way to bring those guys along. Now, one thing I've never figured out as a coach is how to rush experience. It's hard. But those guys will play together for some time and go through some battles and hopefully come together. And we're hoping by the first of the year we can become a good ball club.
That's awesome. Tip-off for the season is the 18th against Milliken. What is the outlook at this point for the game for this season?
Well, Milliken, down in Decatur, Illinois, and they're out of the CCIW program. We've played them probably for 20 straight years, and Matt Nadelhofer is a graduate from Aurora Christian High School. He's their head coach down there, and so he's very familiar with Aurora. In fact, he had a big banquet here last year before their game. But it's a 3-hour bus ride, so it's going to be tough for our guys to get used to the travel and getting off a bus and then playing a tough game and then getting back on the road. But we're going to need to be focused because this is his first recruiting class his senior year as well. So he's got a lot of experience and high expectations down there. Plus, it's near my hometown, so my family will be there. So we're looking forward to that event and to that game, and I think we'll come out of there feeling better ourselves. And as far as the season, we're really just going to focus on getting better and getting closer every day, learning what it means to be a Spartan, how to play Spartan basketball. And if we keep progressing every day, then I think over the course of the season, the talent is there that we can have a very special year.
Great. And then finally, how do you see the future of AU men's basketball?
That's something we're taking a look at. We've kind of been at the same level, okay, and if you step back, and we've won, 10 conference championships, I think 6 out of the last 9, and different things like that. But we want to go from winning at the conference level to winning at the national level, and so we need to make sure that we find a way to progress and win in the national tournament. So we're looking at some different recruiting things, possibly going to a little bit more out-of-state recruiting, attract some kids here and sell them on Chicago and the Aurora University education. But we really have to take a look at it and see how we can break through at the national level.
That's great. Thank you for joining us today. It was really great hearing from you, and thank you so much for joining us on the show. Good luck with the upcoming season. The men's basketball season opens up November 18th as they take off on Milliken University. Good luck to the women's volleyball team who travels to Lakeland College tomorrow to take on the Muskies at 7 p.m. That's all the time we have here today on Spartan Spotlight. Join us next time and be great today, Spartans.